Hi students, in this video I'm going to take you on a tour of our class, General College Biology 2. When you first enter the class, you'll always land on the home page. The home page has several helpful links over here for email help. Do a system check, please, to make sure your computer is set up to run the online classroom effectively. The help desk phone number, the library resources. Okay, here in the news widget, you'll see schedule guidance and interesting information relating to our topics, and also I will post information, say several students are struggling with the same thing, so my just-in-time information is going to come through these news items. So make sure you read them, don't just skim right past them. Now your job on the first day of class is to actually click through all of here and get familiar with what's going on inside of our classroom. So start in the content. On the left side here we have the table of contents. If you close out and come back tomorrow, the page here on the right will be the page that you were on last, so that's helpful. If you are passing through the class in a chronological fashion, which you should do, there are also ways to bookmark the pages, for example. So anyway, read through the syllabus. Clearly there's lots of documents in the syllabus, but this will tell you what we're doing, what we're reading, how long it will take, what we will learn, information about me, how the grades are set up, the rubrics, and remember a rubric is a tool for an instructor and a student. For you, it's a checklist. So you should never do an assignment without looking at the rubric first. If you follow the rubric, you'll get full credit. And here's our schedule. I'll push the schedule a little bit higher up here after I've known you've read all of those other pages. And then here's information about our labs. We'll get a lab kit in the mail, and that will come a couple weeks after the class starts. And then here's some research guidance. We do have a research project towards the end of the semester. Okay, so going right along, see how I can also click through these tabs rather than scrolling all the way down like I just did. And here is our e-text. So you don't have to pay for a textbook for this class. It's free. It's an open source textbook. So when you want to read, you can come through the classroom here and read. You can also put OpenStax into your browser and read the textbook that way. We are reading the biology textbook. Okay. You can also download a copy onto your computer, and you can order a copy in paper if you prefer that. Okay. So I want to talk about the kinds of assignments we're going to do in this class. So for every module, there is an exploration, and this is kind of like the opening lecture for a class. Right here, exploration. That is very important that you start there. That's part of what's on the tests, okay? So don't just read the textbook. Make sure you go through the exploration to begin, and they take a couple of hours to get started, okay? And then we have discussions, labs, quizzes, and exams. So notice these tabs are here as I'm in content, but once you get really familiar with the class, it'll be more likely that you'll use these tabs up here. So we'll go into discussions. We have several forums that are just open, so you can post in here if you just want to make general comments here, like even if you're playing in a show or you saw a movie and it was great, it belongs here in the virtual cafe. You can ask questions here. Please try to answer each other's questions, but I'll also monitor this discussion. And then here is another one. These are a little bit redundant, but we'll see how it plays out. And know that these are places to find information. And frequently asked questions. So the first discussion we have is a student icebreaker discussion, okay? So you're going to introduce yourself and you're going to answer these questions, and notice how there's really pretty specific guidance. So make sure that you take a look at that and make sure that you read the rubric for discussions. And then we will get during the same time frame, we will get into a content-oriented discussion about what is a species, okay? Again, here, very specific guidance with references to use, and you need to be complete in your treatment of these instructions. So that level of detail is not in the rubric, right? So each time we participate in discussion, make sure you are familiar with the specific details, okay? Now, this is going to stay the same for every discussion. When a discussion opens, you need to make a post by the third day, okay? And then you need to respond to your peers on at least 2 separate days. This discussion here is open for a couple of weeks, but as we get down into Module 2, this one's only open for 1 week. And so that is going to take a little bit more effort, right? You're going to have to put more effort in because you're going to have to make 3 posts in 1 week. But then once we get our lab kits and we have something more to do with our labs, our discussions will stretch out for a longer period of time. And you'll still have to get in there on the third day, but you'll have a couple of weeks to make your reply posts. And it's very important that you attend to discussion as frequently as possible, not just 3 times in 3 weeks. Every time you come to class, go to discussion and read for 5 minutes and make a post. That is called studying. The discussion is the place where you are doing active studying in an online course. Okay, also notice that our discussions take on 2 forms. The first discussion is, they're not chronological, but the first one represented here is about our content for the module, and the second one here, concurrently occurring, is about our lab work, okay? So you need to do your labs to get full credit in discussion, and you need to participate in discussion to get full credit in the class, and to have lots of fruitful study opportunity. And as we get down into Module 4 and 5, we will also be doing a research paper. Okay, so let's go back up here and take a look. So we were over here, but all of the discussions are here, and the drop boxes are here. Okay, see, we have lab assignments. These are drop boxes you click in, you submit a Word document, and you do that by the deadline. Okay, and then we will get down lower into the class, and we'll also be submitting research assignments. Okay, let's go over here. Here's our quizzes. Notice there's not a quiz when there's a midterm in a module, but this is cumulative. So this is just Module 1, just Module 2. This is Module 1, 2, and 3. Just Module 4, Module 4 and 5. Okay? Here's where you check up on your grades. All right. And here is where you communicate with me. I want you to email me using the internal messaging tool. You can find me in the class list. Now, after you have watched this video, please make a comment in the YouTube interface so I know that you watched it. I spent time trying to prepare you and help you to be ready, and I want to know that you spent the time watching the video. I look forward to seeing you in the student introduction discussion. Thank you.